Hello, welcome to Learn to Cook, and today we're preparing a roast beef. What I have purchased is a sirloin tip from the sirloin part of the cattle. I also asked the butcher or the meat cutters back behind the counter in the supermarket for a piece of beef fat because, you know, the way they've engineered beef these days is so lean that, well, it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. So especially for a roast beef, you want to have a little flavor to it. Nothing wrong with putting a piece of beef fat on the top and tying it up, because what happens is that the fat hydrolyzes in the heat and bastes the meat, giving it a great flavor. So I choose to do that because, well, that's the way Chef Mark does it. So that's our Learn to Cook method. I actually salted underneath this meat here, and I've tied the beef fat on there. This is the old butcher's tie. I'll show you that. You make a lasso or a bowline, and then you just invert it, pull it snug and tight, invert that twine back through. See that? Line it up nice and tight. That's kind of like a roast tie. It's good for sections of meat. It has a flap to it. So the other reason is it's going to keep my fat on there, which I want that to roast with the fat side up. Remember, without fat, you don't have a whole lot of flavor. So I have a hot skillet, a few drops of oil. The salad oil works fine. You don't want to use an olive oil for searing, just a waste. I have salad oil, soy oil. That's my Dutch oven. It's nice and hot. Put it down, skin side away from you. Press it. Let's get a nice color on that roast. So now it is beautifully brown. See that? Nice color. I don't want it to cook in that fat, so I'm going to take it out. You want to try to roast your beef on a rack. You can use some bones. You can use a small wire rack. I happen to have this rack in our kitchen here. Draining rack, pastry rack. 350-degree oven until the internal temperature is 125 degrees for rare, or 35 degrees for a medium rare. So here's our roast beef. As you recall, we tied the cat fat from the butcher on the top. That's a wonderful smell. That fat smells wonderful. So it is really moistened and gives great flavor to the meat itself. Let's take the string off so we can cut that off, remove the side strings, and usually you can lift it right off the side and the top. Comes right off. You want to serve some of that fat you can. It turns out it's a prime rib fat. So you know that flavor and taste you get when you have a prime rib? Well, that's the fat that they use for that. So it's actually stayed on there, which is kind of wonderful. So we can take that off if we like, or leave it on. Let's cut the roast in half and see how it came out. Look at that, beautiful. Medium rare, medium. Little juices flowing from there, really nice. You see the gray area? That means it still hasn't rested enough yet. So don't be too anxious to carve the roast as it comes out of the oven. As heat penetrates the center, it takes a while for it to leave as well. So the roast of this size is a good 45 minutes before. So this is to show you that if there's a dark ring, it needs to rest longer. So this is beautiful. Enjoy. I know you'll enjoy making your own roast beef.